Losing weight and being healthier is a lot different from your 20s and 30s to your 40s. And I've been hearing people say that, but it did not occur to me until I actually was in that space. And I think it's so interesting because your girl lost 162 pounds naturally. Yes, I was a total life changer and it was really, really helpful for me. But ultimately, I didn't get the surgery. I didn't have GLP-1 at that time. Like, GLP-1 wasn't a real thing in like 2019, not that I knew of. So, it was a lot easier when I was in my 20s and 30s than I am now at 42. And we've got to talk about this because for my girlies who are in like their transitional period where you're going from like one major age to another, and you're not you want results but you're not seeing them, or you don't have the desire to go after the journey like you once had. We got to talk about this real quick because this is something that is literally like mind-blowing to me. So let's talk about this weight loss and health and wellness from your 20s and 30s to your 40s, because baby, it is real. Welcome, 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 welcome. When I tell you it has been a minute, and I'm so grateful that I have another opportunity. God has been actually on me. I'm not even gonna hold you. God has really, really been on me about getting back into my YouTube bag. And honestly, I'm not even gonna hold you. This platform is very intimidating, if I can be very honest. I am on TikTok a lot more, but I decided I gave God my yes, and guess what? I'm just gonna show up. So this is me attempting to do exactly what God has called me to do. So with that being said, I am currently on a glow up journey. Okay, so if you know my journey, you know that I've lost 162 pounds naturally. I started my journey September 25th, 2019 at 337 pounds. And in 2.5 years, I was able to go to 175 pounds. No surgery, no GLP-1. It was the Lord and I. And of course, He gave me certain supports that were really, really helpful along the way. However, I did the work. Okay, so I want to talk about really, really quickly the difference between getting fit, getting healthier in your 20s and your 30s versus getting healthier and getting fit in your 40s. It is a completely different thing. And when I tell you, I am really just starting to see it now that I'm actually now like measuring it. I'm keeping track and I'm on a challenge and all the things, which is great because I'm doing a July 2026 challenge, which is wonderful. But I'm going to be honest with you, this go round has been a lot different than it used to be, and we got to talk about it real quick. So first and foremost, I will say my metabolism, it feels like it's non-existent. I don't know, and I know I've heard this, and my girlies, y'all have been telling me, especially my girlies, because I have friends who range from ages like 20s and 30s to 40s, 50s, and 60s. Like it's a huge range, right? And people have been telling me like, girl, like as you get older, your metabolism is gonna change and you're not, it's not that I did not think it was gonna happen, but I did not think it was going to be this severe. When I say this severe, like I remember when I first started my journey back in 2019, at that point I was 35, and I was like, okay, let's do this. And I literally made a decision. I'm not saying that every day was perfect. I'm not saying that I gave every day 100%, but it was easier to show up. Like I had the energy to show up, okay? As well as my body responded a lot faster. Oh my goodness, let me tell y'all something. At 42, I'm not gonna hold you. My body is like, you gonna do what? With who? Well, I know you lying. Like it's so difficult and it's so different when you really, really think like, oh my goodness, like my body just doesn't do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. I don't know if you guys have that problem, but I do have that issue, okay? And it's so crazy because I sometimes have to fight with me. Sometimes I'm like, Gwen, get up, let's go. And between not having the energy and not seeing the results, oh my goodness, that sometimes is the biggest thing that I have to fight to just show up every day. So yeah, that metabolism thing, I don't know why it's this hard, but it is. Next, I will say, I think that when I was younger, I was willing to join community, and I was willing to be more a part of a group and participate than I am in this juncture of my life. And I say that because, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I love people, but I don't always like them. If I can be honest, like, if we can call a buck a buck. I love people, but I think a lot of the times I now have a trauma response where it's like, if you get connected to people, you will probably get hurt. So when it comes to my health and wellness journey, I am not always in a space to be around people, right? So for me, it's difficult because I'm like, I want to sometimes join a class, or I want to sometimes join a walking group or whatever. And yes, I know that God has still made me a coach, but it's sometimes even still difficult to just show up for me and encourage other people to show up when I don't always want to show up in a space because I feel like sometimes spaces are not as healthy as they should be. Or yeah, I hope that makes sense. So yeah, that. um, and last but not least, I think that as I've gotten older, because life has lifed and it's lifing on top of lifing. I hope that makes sense. I think that because I have so much at stake in this season of my life, from bills and goals and journeys and dreams and things, that it is hard to make me a priority because I have so much at stake. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does. But I feel like I'll be like, oh my goodness, I have all these bills. So I have to not only work my regular job, I now have to work my other side hustles, and I got to make sure I'm balancing everything. I got to make sure everything is good. And at the end of the day, I don't always have, well, the metabolism thing is there. So I don't always have the energy or the drive to then put myself on my own list because I have so many things that take my attention and literally kind of not distract me, but that I know has to get done because no one else is going to do it but me. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a season. Okay. So these are some of the main things that I have noticed that I have been struggling with as I am on my glow up journey from my 20s and 30s into my 40s. Now, these are some things that I am doing to remedy this. Number one, I put myself on a challenge in the month of July to literally like show up every day. So I've told myself, Gwen, you are going to show up in one way, shape, or form every day. I'm going to be honest with you. This is July 6th. And I started this journey July 1st. Out of 6 days, I've actually fully shown up three and a half ish. Because yesterday I did a whole lot of walking, and I walked more than 20,000 steps, and I burned a whole lot of calories like yesterday. So I would still say I showed up yesterday. I just didn't formally do like the exercise piece. But I've put myself back on a challenge to say, okay, Gwen, it's time to relearn you. And the best way to relearn you is actually to put in the work to get to know who you are in this season. And it is very interesting because once you really sit down with the version of you that is here now, like, you will discover that you're a whole different person. And I think that we all know that we evolve, but not until you actually look at it from a lens of like true self-reflection, and you're like doing like measurable steps, and you're looking at your habits daily. Like, you don't realize how much you've changed until you sit down with you and observe you. It is different. So the challenge has definitely helped me to kind of relearn me and walk into this next season of myself with not just confidence, but the knowledge that I am capable of being exactly who not only I want to be, but who God says I am. So definitely I would say challenge yourself to get to relearn yourself. And I know that for me, I've been able to do that with this challenge. Now, even though I did not show up the full quote unquote 6 days, the 3 days that I did show up, I showed up. And like each day, my desire to show up has grown. So I'm like getting back into my old, you know what I mean? So it feels good. It's a little weird, but it feels really, really good. And I'm just excited just to actually show up again, actually tomorrow. I just went to the gym today and I got on my walking pad because I closed the gym down. But, I did some weight training. So it feels good when you know that I'm actually putting in everything I can to become the next best version of me and to change some of the not so good habits that I've slipped into. I think that makes me feel that much better. I'm learning how to join also community in a different way as opposed to always in a physical way. For example, I am now heavy on social media, so I'm like posting myself, I'm posting my challenges, I'm posting my updates, and I'm just being very, very honest with myself as well as others about what this journey looks like. And I'm realizing I don't always have to show up in person to be effective or to still have community. And that has been very, very helpful. That's been super, super helpful. And last but not least, one of the things that have actually really been helping me recently has been AI. Like, y'all, I have been on AI. And when I say I've been on AI, I've been on AI getting recipes. I've been getting exercise regimens. I've been able to really customize and personalize this leg of the journey for me, which is helping me to position myself in a better space where I'm like, and I've known this since I was on the journey the first time. This whole fitness and health and wellness and weight loss thing is not one size fits all. If it was, guess what? There would only be one thing and everybody could do this one thing. However, everybody needs something different. Like I might need different vitamins. You might need different proteins and things. Like we may need different things, even though sometimes the foundation itself is different. The house will always look different depending on the person that is living in the house, if that makes sense. So I am just learning how to utilize the tools that I do have access to and be okay with it. Okay. Yeah. So that is where I am. I'm excited about this leg of the journey. It is a little scary because I am having to, as I stated, relearn myself. And I'm also having to put myself on a regimen that I am not quite used to, but I'm excited to still be a part of. So yeah, it's different, but I'm ready for it. So if you are interested in joining me on this July challenge, I would love to have you. I do think I'm going to do a separate video on exactly what the July challenge looks like, just so that we're on the same page and that you are all caught up and you're able to do it in your way, exactly how you need to get it done. So hopefully this is helpful. Please feel free to add me and subscribe to my channel. Comment if you have any questions, or if there are anything else that you've noticed where you come from, something different from your 20s and 30s into your 40s when it's come to health and wellness. Please put it in the chat. Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, all the things. I appreciate you so much for just logging on, and I hope that this has been helpful to you. I hope that you all also have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.